Harvey Scales, and we're sitting in actually our office here in Memphis, Tennessee. Come on, say hello to everybody, Harvey.
Hello, everybody. I love you, and I'm in my favorite town. This is like my stomping ground. One of the places where I began my music career, Memphis, Tennessee.
Yes. Now we have Harvey here today. We're going to be just discussing, we're just talking just a little bit about the music industry, how he got started. His first, as a matter of fact, he was the first one to get a platinum record in history. Am I right about that?
That's right.
All right, let's.
I was blessed, put it that way.
Blessed to get it. Now, Harvey, tell us just a little bit about yourself.
Well, man, it's so much about myself, which you and I'll get into when we do our movies.
Yes.
But I started out singing as most of my counterparts did in church, you know.
Okay.
And I used to, in Milwaukee, actually, where I was living as a preteen. Let me back up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I was born in Osceola, Arkansas.
Okay.
We moved to Tupelo, Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
I stayed there, I guess, till I was about 10 years old. We moved to West Memphis, Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
And I stayed there with my dad, really, probably about 5 years. Then we all moved to Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay.
And then I kind of got into the music business, you know, because of Stax Records. But I was so young, I didn't really, you know, get into it wholeheartedly like I wanted to. So then we moved to Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And there during high school, I started singing in the church choir, which was the church I went to was right across the street from my house in Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. And Reverend Lovelace at the time kind of took me and my young friends and, you know, we used to hang out around the church, not really go in and stuff. Just come on in, because we like to hear him sing, you know.
Yeah.
And next thing I knew, I was in there singing under my director, who was my director at school, Miss Cleckley. You know, she had me singing in church, and, you know, I didn't really know much about it, but I love the harmonies, and she played keyboards at that time. I loved keyboards.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, I always did love keyboards. And then from then on, in my neighborhood, and all the guys around my age, in every neighborhood at that time, had singing groups.
Okay.
You know, doo-wops, as they call them.
Yeah.
Oh, what a night, do-do-do, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You don't remember me, but I remember you. You know, tears on my pillow, those kind of songs.
Yes.
We sung all them type of songs, you know. and no music.
It's all
except
acapella.
Except in our group for a while, we had a guy that made the music with his voice, and his name was Jarreau.
Okay, yeah.
Who later on became one of the most famous jazz singers in history.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Jarreau, great friend of mine who just passed last year.
Okay. So Al, he used to sing with you?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
How long did y'all sing together?
We was in different groups off and on. You know, at that time, you only stayed in a group very short time, even some other group. But see, back then, we, and Al lives on the other east side of town. I kind of lived, I was neutral. That's why I didn't get in much gang fights, because I was neutral. You know, I lived in the middle side. I didn't live on the west or the east side. I was neutral, you know. But anyway, where I lived was a big playground called Lambert Park, and this is where all the groups would come and see who was the best.
Okay.
And battle and all that. And my group, since I lived so close, we rehearsed every day, all day, and everything, you know.
Okay.
Because I lived across the street from the park. And the guy, we had one guy what made us different than a lot of the other groups to that time. We was all a cappella, but in my group, we had an expert piano player.
Okay.
Even though he was a teenager, he was an expert.
Okay.
You know, that's all. His mother was like, kept him in the house, 24 hours rehearsing the piano.
Oh man!
So
what?
yeah, and so when we sang our harmonies, it was all correct.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
As being a piano player,
Yeah.
And that made us really stand out because we didn't just sing the regular, doo-wop, yeah, Daddy's home to stay.
Mm-hmm.
And now we didn't just do that. We did, like, this is a lovely way, hey,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like
Yeah.
that. That type of harmony,
Yeah.
At that time, I think the guys that did that was called Lambert, Hendrix, and Ross.
Mm-hmm.
For the guys who might be my age, might remember that. But they sung that. Later, it became like the Manhattan Transfer.
Okay.
Yeah, those real jazz harmonies.
Mm-hmm.
And we did that as teenagers.
Okay.
So that really separated us. And then from the doo-wop groups, I got into a group called the Esquires, and it was doo-wop too. But another guy in the group that wrote songs a lot, and me and him wrote a lot, and we became like the best group for a while.
Okay.
In Milwaukee, and those guys, we hung out at this place where all the big bands, Count Basie, Duke Ellington, everybody used to come, Miles Davis, and it was called the Wonderland Ballroom.
Mm-hmm.
And on certain days, they would have, the R&B doo-wop at that time. And we go, like I think on Friday nights, and it would be packed, with teenagers. And the police was real strong back at this time. They didn't just start messing with young people. They was doing that. This is the 50s,
Oh man!
Yeah, and matter of fact, we was just hanging outside, waiting on the girls to come out because we go out first, and they come on, get off the street, and Sam Cooke knew that. That's why he said in the song, I go downtown, and the police tell me, stop hanging around.
Yeah.
I believe a change is gonna come. That's what that came
So
from.
they actually sang songs of things that they went through.
Right.
Oh, that's something.
Yeah, those songs was true. Like even the romantic ones. Oh, what a night! The guy was standing in the hallway getting a kiss.
Okay.
Seriously. And,
So most of the songs back when I wouldn't say in your day, but when you were around, when you were around,
your dad's day, brother.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Right.
That's right. So a lot of the songs, most of them are true.
Yeah, they was all true. Except maybe ball, dang, blue moon.
Oh, yeah.
But the song Blue Moon was true,
Yeah.
Blue Moon, that's the way he felt,
Okay, yeah.
As you remember, you didn't hear many negative songs.
Yeah, that's right, isn't it?
Like now, you better watch out, I'm gonna shoot your mama or something. You didn't hear that back then.
I mean, the music has really changed.
Oh yeah.
Since you was a writer.
Right. What was
the lyrics
predominantly as a writer, you wrote about love.
Okay.
You very seldom wrote any songs about having a fight or anything negative like that.
Yeah.
If you did, it was comical. Take out the papers and the trash, or you don't get no spending cash. Yada yada. Don't talk back. It was fun.
Oh yeah,
songs.
that's right.
It was either fun songs or there was love songs. The Otis Redding had, when I finally got into Otis Redding, that's what really kind of drew me to him. He was the master of the love song.
Okay.
Oh, she may be weary now. Young girls, they do get weary. Try a little tenderness.
Yes.
Yeah, I used to love that.
Oh man.
Yeah. And
so the song's a lot
if you
different.
didn't watch out, you'd fall in love with somebody you didn't even want to fall in love with.
Now, what do you? Now, let me ask you this: what do you think about where do you think the music is heading now? You think it's going downhill or up?
Yeah, well, I think the most of the artists now are running to the bank. You know.
Yeah.
More than anything, more than rehearsing, more than trying to get a good song, more than trying to be the best that they can be.
Yeah.
You know, you know, the whole artistic point of what we used to do, we didn't get no money. We didn't even care as long as we could get the people's applause and satisfy in our hearts what we was doing, you know.
That's right.
Especially in church, you know, we never really got paid in church till later on. Then they're taking up collections and stuff. We loved it, you know.
Oh yeah.
You know, after they started doing that, you know, later on when you get a little more professional in church.
That's right.
You know. But even when we rehearsed in church, after rehearsing in church, we would sneak across the street to Lambert Park and rehearse with, you know, "You're 1,000 miles away," you know, songs like that, you know.
Just sneaking on out here.
Yeah, you know, and yeah, I mean, in the choir director, they get mad and say, "Well, at least y'all rehearsing. Y'all ain't out stealing somebody's tires, you know."
Let me ask you this here. I know we short on time, but I'm gonna get you back again.
We're gonna do a long. You know, I'm talking about my career goes.
Yeah, you gotta stand.
Oh man,
I gotta get you back. I'm gonna get you back, but I gotta ask you this question.
Sure.
When you wrote your first platinum in history,
Disco Lady. Yeah.
Disco Lady. How did you write that?
Well, actually, the song was written for I had a band, one of the best bands in the land. We bagged, like I was telling you earlier, we bagged Etta James, Curtis Mayfield, the Temptations. We was like one of the great groups at that time. Yeah, Harvey Scales and the Seven Sounds. I mean, we started in an area of Prince, you know, in Milwaukee. He lived in Minneapolis, and Morris D at the time and all that. We was the forerunners of all that.
Okay.
You know, and I had the same producer, me and my band, as Johnny Taylor.
Okay.
You know, me and Johnny Taylor had gotten tight earlier down here in Memphis at Stax. Way back when he did "Who's Making Love to Your Old Lady?" You know.
Okay.
You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Yeah. Back in the day, that's
But anyway, we gotten tight. And as a writer, I used to always say, "Man, I got a song for you," blah, blah, blah. You know. And finally, we had the same producers because Don Davis also produced "Who's Making Love," and that was our producer. He was the Stax, and he was the Dramatics.
Okay.
Which is when we next interview we have, we got to tell you about that story about our situation with Martin Luther King when he got killed at the Lorraine Hotel.
Were you in Memphis at that time?
And then, okay. Yeah, when we just left, we was in the same hotel as Martin Luther King.
Okay, man.
And then we was on the highway, we heard he got killed. You know, right in 306. That's where we stayed at.
Yeah.
And what made it so bad with that situation was we had to go to Detroit right after that, and every city was rioting because of Martin Luther King's death. Yeah. And the National Guard had shot up this hotel where we stayed at. And you know, the guard always got us right out before, but the Dramatics was still there, and I think they made one guy go deaf in the Dramatics. They didn't kill him, but they tried to shoot him in the head, turn his head, and the bullet, you know, and he's on the floor. And that was the National Guard that they called in for the riot. And he ended up quitting the group. He did. But in case a lot of people don't know, they might see this not really, some people, the younger people might not remember this Dramatics. But there was a good group, kind of like the second version, younger version of the Temptations. Okay, okay. You know, and they was out of Detroit, and their big song was "I Wanna Go Outside in the Rain." It may sound crazy, but I wanna go outside in the rain. Okay, yeah. Hey, doo-wopping again.
The doo-wopping on in.
Hey, yeah, but seriously, and they was produced by Don Davis, who also produced Johnny Taylor, let me get the disco lady.
Yeah.
But anyway, that song, I was in Chicago, and they used to call it, in these clubs back then, they used to call it the Discotheque was just coming in. And go-go girls is what they call them. They would be in a cage, you know, and I was sitting at the table and really on like a piece of paper or a napkin, like, yeah, because I had the rhythm, don, 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 you know, and I never had lyrics, so I just kind of had lyrics. Shake it up, shake it down, move it in, move it around, disco lady.
Okay.
You know, I said, oh, I got to remember that.
Yeah.
And so when we went to record it, and we cut a demo on it for, like I said, it was for me and my band.
Yeah.
And because Johnny Taylor wasn't even singing that type of stuff.
He wasn't.
He was a blues man.
Okay.
Who's making love to you? You know,
yeah.
I know a little bluebird. They was singing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and Don Davis wanted to put him in that pop disco mode. Don was a great producer from that pack.
Yeah.
You like to ride the wave of what's happening, you know.
Okay, yeah.
What's making the money.
Oh, yeah,
and at that time, disco was hot as fire. You know,
it's hot then, man.
Yeah. The girl Donna Summers was cleaning up. And Gloria Gaynor, who had I Will Survive. You know, it was a hot records like that. And,
I remember that, yeah, back in the day,
yeah. Remember that, yeah. And so Don wanted Johnny Taylor, and Johnny Taylor had just left Stax. His contract was up. Here in Memphis, they took Stax and got on CBS out of Los Angeles. Columbia Records, which was at that time the biggest record company of all, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And so Don wanted to really come out with a hit. So I kept saying, we're going to change that lyric, shake it up, shake it down, Don, because I know you think it's probably kind of, you know, wishy, you know, and young, you know, and stuff, you know. And he said, yeah, we'll do it later. But when we got ready to try to change it, he let lots of people listen to the demo the way it was. And every time he asked about the song, somebody about the song, they start singing, you remember that song? Yeah, we remember Shake It Up, Shake It Down. And they start singing it.
Okay. So
every time.
So they kept that part in there.
Yeah, even around his house, everybody was singing it, even when it was just a demo.
Okay.
You know, they didn't remember nothing else but that.
So you had to leave it in there.
Yeah, so we left it in there. And when Johnny Taylor heard it, he hated it. He hated it. He didn't like the song at all.
The what?
No, even when he recorded it, he didn't like it.
He didn't like it, huh?
And then when the CBS released it, he was mad for a long time. And before he could get ready to call his lawyer and all that stuff, which he was talking about doing, he wanted a record out called Somebody's Getting It, Somebody's Getting Your Love. He wanted that out.
Yeah.
But they put out Disco Lady, and before he could get too mad, it was #1 everywhere.
He changed his tune after that, huh?
Yeah, he loved it. Yeah, my favorite song. Play it, you know. Yeah, play it, Pete.
You saw how popular it was.
Yeah, and it was a blessing because none of us would have ever thought that would be the first platinum.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, but see, with God's help, that happened, you know, plus that disco was hot because the name of the song when we first did it was called Shake It Up, Shake It Down, Sexy Lady.
Yes.
You know, and Don took the Sexy Lady and said, no, let's call it Disco Lady. Okay. Because everything is disco lady. I mean, it's disco now. Because they got our disco duck, disco potato chips, disco bicycle, everything, you know. So he said, we're going to have a disco lady.
Yeah.
And that's where the title came from. So Don got a pretty good piece of disco lady because he was the producer and he came over with the title, you know.
Okay. Well, we just thank God. I tell you, I just wanted to interview you today and just to let people know a little bit about you. And I'm going to bring you back when you come back in Memphis around October, well, the end of this month, just about. Right. And we'll do some more interviews, and we'll go from there. And actually, we can use this part of a documentary.
Oh yeah, we only just gonna be part of the document.
Yeah, so we can all this can be added.
Right,
So
right.
So we just thank God for the opportunity. Again, we just we got Harvey Scales, the famous Harvey Scales in the house, and we're gonna come back to you again, and we're gonna bring them back, and we're gonna just have a actually we're working on a couple of things, couple of projects, and so y'all just be on the lookout. And until next time, just remember this: Eric Patton. This is
Harvey Scales.
Harvey Scales.
This is,
Eric Patton.
yeah, my religious partner.
All right. Thank you again for coming. All right.